Yo, you guys, this is Blacklist of the Abyss, and this is my review for Freezing Vibrations, Episode 5. Now, this one should actually be pretty quick because there's not really a lot to talk about. Well, there is, but I have a couple gripes about the episode, but I'll get to those at the end. Pretty much all this episode is Elizabeth. She decides to go against Chevalier. Andre tries to stop her at first, but he can't. So as as a limiter, it's his duty to be loyal to his Pandora. So he ends up doing just that, both now and later in the episode when he's defending her from like the Pandoras, and when he's talking to Chiffon, saying how what she did was right and everything like that. So that's good loyalty by him. But pretty much Elizabeth goes against Chevalier. She gets the Mabley family involved to try and spread word and win like the people over and win the media over about the Pandora project. But she fails because her father apparently like talked to some person who was affiliated with Chevalier, and Chevalier found out. So the Mabley family is ruined now, pretty much. They're all these rumors were spread. They this investigation into the Mabley family. They found all these problems and stuff which are non-existent, but they're just Chevalier is fighting back with fake allegations and things, fake proof of fake crimes, and the Mabley family is ruined. Then they get Elizabeth. They call her to headquarters. I think it's the secretary. Yeah, Adams. He calls Elizabeth in. There are all these like real Pandora, not like students like Elizabeth and Satella and Rana, like actual Pandora. And in the manga it was better because you could see like shadow on their faces and stuff. They looked really powerful. But in the anime they just looked like, I thought they were students at first. But Elizabeth gets called in. She gets like tortured and all this stuff, and she's kind of just mentally ruined now. So don't go against Chevalier. I guess that's the moral of the story. But they send her back after like a week or so. She's like mindless pretty much. Her reaction in the manga was a little bit different. Where in the anime she was just like just like mindless pretty much. But in the manga it was more like when Andre went to her, she was afraid of him at first and like backed away, like crawled to a wall and stuff. So it was a little bit of a different reaction, but it's really not that big of a deal at all. And that's essentially it. Um, Everyone thinks the Mabley family. Everyone believes the rumors except for people who actually know Elizabeth. The Pandora believe it too, except for Amelia. Um, and that's that. That's the majority of the episode. The rest of the episode is what I have a gripe with, because this stuff, it's technically filler, but technically it's not filler. If you watched my first review for Freezing Vibrations, you'd know that I mentioned that they skipped an arc before, like before the Pandora arc. There was an arc about Satella and her past and her family and stuff. They skipped it. Apparently, they aren't skipping it. They just decided to take an arc and move it into the middle of another arc. Because the arc that they skipped is about Satella and Kazuya going to Bali, meeting her parents and Violet and Lewis, Holly Rose. But like, it doesn't make any sense. It's I can't imagine how badly this is going to be done. There are things that have to happen. Everything that happens involving the Pandora after this point, Satella has to be there for. Well, not everything, but practically everything. So I can't imagine this being done well. I, Elizabeth never shot Satella in the like wrists and ankles. That was filler. So she's not injured at all. She doesn't have to move around in a wheelchair. But they had to have an excuse for her to go to Bali, and even that excuse wasn't that good. She was supposed to go back to Japan for treatment. She's like, let me just board another plane instead and go to Bali. That doesn't make sense. So this episode's kind of disappointing. I really don't know what was going through their heads when they decided to take the arc in Bali and put it in the middle of the E Pandora arc. It really doesn't make any sense at all, to be honest. Holly Rose isn't there because of what happened in the Bali arc. So how are you going to put the Bali arc in the middle of... I really don't even know what to think about this episode, to be honest. I guess I'll give it a 5.5 out of 10. I mean, the stuff with Elizabeth was fine. I mean, if this is the first time you're seeing it, like if you don't read the manga, then it probably surprised you to see Elizabeth tortured and like come back looking like that, acting like that. But I mean, filler, like not even filler. Like I said, it's just they moved the arc. Who moves an arc into the middle of another arc? Who does that? That doesn't make sense. Yeah, I'll give this episode a 5.5 out of 10. I mean, if it wasn't for literally just the scenes of Elizabeth being tortured and then coming back looking like that, I probably would have given it like a 4 or a 5 or something. 4.5 maybe. This is not a good episode at all. It's really not. Especially if you're a manga reader. If you're an anime-only viewer, then I guess it was a better episode than 5.5, but... yeah, that's... for the anime-only viewers, if I ignore the fact that if I ignore the fact that I know this is not how things go, then it's hard to ignore it. I guess I'd give it like a 6.5 out of 10 or something. But that's really it for this review. I'm not liking the direction this is going in. The stuff that happens after this, Satella needs to be there for. So we're probably going to ignore the E Pandora for a while to do this Bali arc, and then have them go back for some reason. That's it. Rate, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.